In today's lecture, we will be focusing on alkynes. Alkynes are the most unsaturated hydrocarbons having triple bond. Lecture plan for this episode is structure and isomerism of alkynes, their classification also, various methods for the preparation of alkynes, physical and chemical properties of alkynes and applications. To start with structure of the alkynes. As we already know that alkynes are the most unsaturated hydrocarbons having general formula CnH2n-2. In alkynes, as we can see from the example of simplest alkyne, that is acetylene, these two carbon atoms are sp hybridized. So, because of sp hybridization, we are having two unhybridized p orbitals. These two unhybridized p orbitals are capable of forming pi bond. So, here we can see there are three bonds between carbon and carbon. One of the bond is formed by the sp hybridized sigma orbital and remaining two are formed by the unhybrid p orbitals. This CH bond is also being formed by the overlapping between s orbital of hydrogen and sp hybrid orbital of carbon. So, because of sp hybridization, overall structure of acetylene is linear and bond angle is 180 degree. Acidic character of one alkyne. It has been observed that acetylene or any other terminal alkynes show acidic character. This acidic character can be understood with the help of this reaction. Acidic character means any compound which is capable of losing proton. Here we can see after losing proton, it is forming this anion. This reaction takes place because of sp hybrid nature of the alkynes. Sp hybrid nature means 50% S character. So, 50% S character makes them tightly held by the central carbon atom. So, after loss of proton, remaining anion is stable due to tightly being held up by the carbon atom. Here we can see the order of the acidity. If we compare it with other compounds, then acetylene lies here. It means it is more acidic than ammonia but less acidic than alcohol and water. Alkynes show different type of isomerism. First of all, position isomerism. Here we can see position of triple bond is different. So, in the case of pentyne 1 and pentyne 2, overall molecular formula is same, but it is the only position of triple bond which is terminal in case of pentyne 1 and which is between C2 and C3 in case of pentyne 2. Next type of isomerism is the chain isomerism. Here we can see example of pentyne 1 and 3-methyl butyne 1. In case of pentyne 1, this is the straight chain of 5 carbon atoms. But in case of 3-methyl butyl 1, one of the carbon atom has been substituted here. So, overall molecular formula is same, but structure is different. Next type is functional isomerism. Functional isomerism, it is shown by 1-butyne and 1,3-butadiene. These two compounds have same molecular formula C4H6, but 1-butyne has the functional group as triple bond and here functional group is double bond. Another type of isomerism is ring chain isomerism. Here we can see that propyne 1, this is the straight chain of 3 carbon atoms and here another isomer is cyclopropene. This is a cyclic compound. Alkynes can be further classified into terminal alkynes and non-terminal alkynes. Terminal alkyne means hydrogen atom. Here this is present on triply bonded carbon atom which is at position carbon number 1. In case of non-terminal alkynes, this C triple bond C is present on one of the middle carbon atoms. So, if this triple bond is present on the terminal carbon atom, it is called terminal alkyne, and if triple bond is present on one of the middle carbon atoms, then they are called non-terminal alkynes. Methods of the preparation of alkyne. There are many methods from which we can prepare alkynes. Now, simplest methods are from dihalides. This is the example of vicinal dihalide where halogen atoms are present on adjacent carbon atoms. And here is the case of geminal dihalide where both of the halogen atoms are present on the same carbon atom. Now, coming to the vicinal dihalide, first of all we will have to treat it with alcoholic KOH and dehydrohalogenation will take place and we will get vinyl bromide. This vinyl bromide is less reactive. Therefore, to progress our reaction further, we need a stronger base, and NaNH2 or sodamide being a strong base is capable of eliminating another HBr from this molecule and it will give us acetylene. So, here we can see how we have converted dihalogen compound into triply bonded alkyne via this vinyl halide. In case of geminal dihalide, we will treat it with alcoholic KOH and we will get alkyne. If we want to prepare dihalide from alkene, then we can see that this addition reaction, here we have taken alkene and bromine, they will combine together and upon addition reaction they will give us this simple dihalogen compound. This is again vicinal dihalide. So, with the help of method already discussed in previous slide, we can convert this to the alkyne. Here NaNH2 keeps the triple bond in first position, or we can say that terminal alkynes are obtained. From tetrahalide also we can prepare alkynes. Here we can see the example of tetrahalide and this is being converted to simplest alkyne, that is acetylene, in the presence of zinc, methanol and heat. From alkylation of acetylene and terminal alkynes also we can prepare the alkynes. How? We can see here. Now, suppose we are having a lower alkyne like acetylene, we will be treating it with sodium in the presence of liquid ammonia and then sodium salt of acetylene. This is called sodium acetylide. This will be formed. Then this is treated with alkyl halide and this sodium will combine with iodide and R will be introduced here. Now, we have converted lower alkyne into the higher alkyne. If we are interested to further increase the chain of carbon atoms, then we will repeat the same reaction here. We will again treat it with sodium and will form sodium salt and then again we will treat it another molecule of alkyl halide and will get the desired product. So, depending upon the value of R, we can increase the number of carbon atoms. So, here this is necessary that whatever alkyl halide we are using, that should be 1 degree, because 2 degree or 3 degree alkyl halides give alkenes. From alkylation of acetylene or terminal alkynes, another method is there with the help of Grignard reagent. Here, as we know, in the Grignard reagent there are two portions. One is MgI, which is positive part, and another is negative part of the reagent, that is CS3. So, this hydrogen atom, which is acidic in character, as we have already discussed in the beginning, will be replaced by this MgI. Here MgI will be substituted. Then further, if we treat it with CS3I or any other alkyl halide, then this will be replaced and we will be getting higher alkyl halide from the lower alkyl halide. Electrolysis of unsaturated dicarboxylic acid salts. This is also very interesting method for the preparation of alkynes. Here we have taken example of potassium salt of maleic acid. So, upon electrolysis, anionic part will come to the anode and cationic part will come to the cathode. And after losing electrons here and loss of carbon dioxide here, we will be getting acetylene. So, we can see how unsaturated dicarboxylic acid salts can be utilized for the preparation of alkynes. Another method for the preparation of alkynes is from electrolysis of unsaturated dicarboxylic acid salts. Here we can see that potassium salt of maleic acid, which is an unsaturated dicarboxylic acid, is giving acetylene after electrolysis. We can see how that after electrolysis this anionic part is going to anode and this cationic part is going to cathode, and this anionic part after loss of 2 electrons and carbon dioxide is being converted to acetylene. Another method for the preparation is from calcium carbide. This has been the very common method. Calcium carbide is treated with water and here we can obtain acetylene. Calcium carbide required for this method is prepared by the reaction between coke and calcium oxide. Coke is obtained from coal and calcium oxide is obtained from limestone. Another method is treatment of calcium carbide from the methanol, and here also we are getting a higher alkyne. From iodoform also we can get acetylene. How? We can see here 2 moles of iodoform are being treated with 6 moles of silver, and then 6 AgI is being formed and we are getting acetylene. Berthelot's synthesis has been very important method for the synthesis of acetylene, where carbon electrode is being treated with hydrogen in an electric arc at very high temperature, that is 1200 degrees Celsius, and it is resulting in the formation of acetylene. Other methods of preparation of acetylene are partial oxidation of methane. Pyrolysis of methane also results in the formation of some quantities of acetylene, but this partial oxidation, which we can see here in the presence of oxygen at very high temperature 1500 degrees Celsius, we are getting acetylene. Now coming to the physical properties of alkynes or acetylene. Acetylene is gaseous at room temperature. Pure acetylene is having very light smell, but due to the presence of impurities like phosphine and H2S, it is having unpleasant garlic odor. It is explosive in nature under conditions of heat and pressure. Therefore, during transport of acetylene, a proper care has to be taken. It is polar than alkene due to presence of sp hybridized orbitals, but still it is not soluble in water. It is in fact soluble in polar organic solvents like benzene, acetone, carbon tetrachloride and DMF. Its structure is linear, as we have already discussed under the structure heading. So, due to linear structure, their molecules are closely packed with each other. Therefore, to separate them we need more energy, and hence their boiling points and melting points are relatively higher as compared to their corresponding alkenes and alkanes. They are transported under conditions of high pressure in acetone soaked on porous material packed in steel cylinders. Now, their chemical properties or various reactions. First of all, we will be discussing very important reaction of acetylene, that is acetylite formation. As we have already learned, under the heading of acidic character, this hydrogen atom being acidic, so this can be replaced by sodium metal. Here we will be forming sodium acetylite. Now, if we progress further this reaction, then second acidic hydrogen atom will also be substituted here by sodium ion. But this sodium acetylite is not stable to water. Therefore, upon hydrolysis, we can get back the acetylene. Now, due to this acidic character of terminal hydrogen atom, here we can see terminal alkynes can be treated with ammonical cuprous chloride or ammonical silver nitrate, and we are getting here red precipitate of cuprous acetylite, and here in case of second reaction we are getting white precipitate of silver acetylite. So, these two reactions are utilized for the purpose of identification of acetylene. Heavy metal alkanides are stable to water and they can be decomposed only by the dilute acids to regenerate alkynes. Addition of hydrogen, which is also known as hydrogenation reaction. Here we can see it is very obvious that upon addition of first mole, alkyne or any acetylene will be converted to alkenes, and then upon addition of second mole of hydrogen, it will be converted to alkane, or in case of acetylene, this will be converted first to ethylene and then finally to ethane. Now, presence of various catalysts affects the products. How? We can see here Lindlar's catalyst, which is palladium in barium sulfate in the presence of sulfur in quinoline. They will stop reaction at alkene stage only, and if we are using any higher alkyne, then we can observe that this reaction will be syn addition. Now, in the presence of sodium or lithium in liquid ammonia, anti-addition will take place. This reaction will be called Birch reduction. In case of platinum reduction, alkane will be formed. So, we can see how presence of catalyst is affecting the products. Hydroboration, this is again addition reaction, and like alkenes, diborane will add on carbon-carbon triple bond. So, monomeric unit of the diborane is BS3 will be added in a cis manner. Here we can see how H has been added here and BS3 has been added to second carbon atom, and we are getting vinyl borane. Vinyl boranes of terminal alkynes can be oxidized with alkaline H2O2 to form aldehydes. Now, here we can see in the second step, upon alkaline hydrolysis, we are getting vinyl alcohol. This vinyl alcohol is basically unsaturated alcohol. Presence of double bond makes it unsaturated. So, here keto-enol tautomerism will take place, and keto being the more stable form, we will be getting aldehyde. Vinyl boranes of non-terminal alkynes can be oxidized with alkaline hydrogen peroxide to form ketone. So, here we can see only difference lies in the R group, which has substituted the hydrogen atom of terminal alkyne. So, finally, we will be getting ketone. Another chemical property of alkynes is halogenation reaction. Reactivity order is chlorine followed by bromine followed by iodine. So, here we can see how 1 mole of halogen is being added across the triple bond. So, this triple bond upon addition of 1 mole of halogen is being converted to double bond. Now, if we are adding second mole of halogen, then we are getting tetrahalogen compound. which is Vestron. Vestron is very important solvent used for paint and varnishes. Upon reaction with barium hydroxide, this Vestron is being converted to Vestrosol. Another example of halogenation here is reaction with bromine. Here we have seen how the bromine atoms have been added across the double bond and one of the pi bond has been opened up. Now upon addition of second mole of bromine, we are getting again tetrahalogen compound, and after treatment with barium hydroxide we are getting Vestrosol. Hydrogen halides. Their reactivity order for addition reaction is Hi followed by HBr followed by HCl. If we have taken example of simplest alkyne, which is symmetrical alkyne, that is acetylene, upon addition of HBr we will be getting vinyl bromide. Now still there lies a double bond. So second mole of HBr can be added. Now this HBr will be added as per Markovnikov's rule. Markovnikov's rule, as we have already learned in the alkene, this positive part of reagent, that is H plus, will be added to the carbon having more number of hydrogen atoms, and negative part of the reagent, that is Br minus, will be added to the carbon having less number of hydrogen atoms. So finally we will be getting ethylidene bromide. Now the example of unsymmetrical alkyne. Here again first mole, it is being added as per Markovnikov rule. So hydrogen will be added to here this carbon atom which is already having one hydrogen atom, and Br minus negative part will be added to this carbon atom, and we will be getting vinyl halide. Then another mole of hydrogen bromide will be added as per Markovnikov rule, and finally we will be getting product. Addition of hypohalous acid, that is HClO, HBrO. Here we can see that for the formation of any hypohalous acid we will be requiring halogen and water. These two will combine and will give us HClO or HBrO, whatever be the X atom. Here we can see negative part of the reagent is OH minus and positive part of the reagent, very interesting, is halogen. So positive part of the reagent will be added to the carbon having more number of hydrogen atoms. So it will be added here, and negative part will be added here. Now addition of second mole of hypohalous acid will give us this product. Now here, since this carbon atom is having two OH group, so we know from the basic knowledge of chemistry that two OH groups cannot be stable on same carbon atom. So 1 mole of water will be removed from here and we will be getting dihaloacetaldehyde or any other higher aldehyde depending upon the value of the R. Hydration means reaction with H2O. So H2O, it is again addition reaction, H plus and OH minus. So here we can see in the presence of HgSO4 and dilute H2SO4 at this temperature will give us CH2 double bond CHOH. Here we can see this is a simple addition reaction, H plus will be added here and OH will be added here. Now since this is again unsaturated alcohol, this is enolic form, so it will be unstable and will be easily tautomerized to ketonic form and we will be getting acetaldehyde. If we are starting with higher alkyne, then we will be getting ketone. With ROH and RCOH, this is again called vinylation. We can see here again two parts of the reagent, H plus and OR minus. So H plus will be added here and OR minus will be added here and we are getting unsaturated ether, alkyl vinyl ether. Vinylation reaction, if we use RCOH with acetylene, Then RCOH, here we have taken example of simplest carboxylic acid, that is acetic acid. This is having two part H plus and CH3CO minus. So, positive part H plus is being added here and negative part is being added here. So, we are getting vinyl ester. Now, since this is having a double bond, so second mole of CH3COH can also be added further and we will be getting vinylidene diacetate as final product. Addition of sulfuric acid and addition of HCN. Here again we can break these into two components, H plus electrophile and OSO3H, which is negative part of the reagent. So, we will be getting this and then finally upon addition of second mole we will be getting ethylidene hydrogen sulfate. Now, addition of HCN also. In presence of cuprous chloride, we are getting acrylonitrile. Acrylonitrile has been very important compound in polymer chemistry. Addition of AsCl3, it results in the formation of leucite. This is a poisonous gas which was used in First World War. Substitution by halogen. Acidic hydrogen can also be substituted by halogen. If we are having halogen as positive halogen, here NaOCl, in this compound Cl is in the form of Cl plus. So, this can substitute the hydrogen atom which is acidic hydrogen atom. So, we are getting dichloroacetylene. If we are substituting one by one both of the hydrogen atom by this positive halogen atom. In the same way, we can use bromo compound for substituting the acidic hydrogen atom. Now, oxidation of alkynes. In presence of cold alkaline KMnO4, which is called Bayer's reagent. So, this test is also known as Bayer's test. We can see that this triple bond can be converted here to the oxalic acid. Now, if we are using higher alkyne, then also we can see that this can be broken from here and this carbon atom will be converted to carbon dioxide and this portion RC, this unit is being converted to RCOH. If we are using higher alkyne, which is non-terminal alkyne here, then also oxidation takes place across this triple bond and we will be getting diketo compound. Now, in presence of hot KMnO4, what happens? We can see here this triple bond CH. If we are having this unit in our compound, then this unit will be converted to carbon dioxide and water. And if we are having triple bond Cr, this unit in our compound, then this will be oxidized to RCOH. So, this is the simplest example, acetylene, where we can see both units are CH. So, upon oxidation, this will be converted in first stage to oxalic acid and finally to carbon dioxide and water. Now, here another example which is of higher alkyne, then we can see this unit is being converted to CO2 and here this unit is being converted to CH3COH. So, here we can see upon reaction with cold dilute KMnO4, reaction is stopping at this stage only, but in the presence of hot KMnO4, we are getting final product as carbon dioxide. Now, ozonolysis. This is again very important reaction for alkynes as with alkenes. But in case of alkynes, this reaction is slow. We can see how ozone is being added here and we are getting this cyclic compound. Now, this cyclic compound can be broken in two ways. Under the conditions of oxidative decomposition, upon hydrolysis, we are getting these two acids. This portion of the acid is coming from this portion and this portion of the acid, formic acid, is coming from here, this carbon atom. But in the reductive decomposition in presence of zinc and water, we are getting glyoxyl. Polymerization reaction. This is again very important reaction, as we are getting many interesting products from the polymerization, products which can be further utilized for the preparation of other important industrial products. With acetylene, if we are treating it in presence of red hot iron tube, then 3 moles are combining together and we are getting benzene. This is the simplest reaction. But if we are using propyne, then 3 moles are being combined and we are getting mesitylene. Now, if we are combining like this 2 moles, then this reaction will be further progressed here and finally we will be getting chloroprene. Chloroprene is again very important unit for the preparation of many polymers. Now finally applications. So far we have studied preparation of many important compounds from the alkynes. Industrial use of such products like Vestron, Vestrosol is being done as a solvent for fat, varnishes and paints. Polyacetylene is used as electrodes in cheaper batteries. Products such as acrylonitrile and chloroprene are used for the manufacture of many important polymers. Many useful addition products like leucite and many other compounds we are getting from the alkynes. It has been also observed that polymer of acetylene show laser induced electrical conductivity. Due to flammable nature of acetylene, it is being used in oxyacetylene welding torch for the cutting of metals. So, let us revise once again whatever we have learnt in this episode. First of all, we have learnt about structure and various type of isomerism that are shown by the alkynes. We have also learnt about the acidic character of terminal alkynes and classification of alkyne among terminal and non-terminal. Methods for the preparation of alkynes. Then we have also discussed physical and chemical properties of alkynes, and finally applications of the many important compounds which we are getting from the alkynes. So, we have finished alkynes, which are the most unsaturated hydrocarbons, and we have learnt all about acetylene, which is the simplest member of alkyne series.